welcome back to the Retro Game Shelf, and we are going to continue our top 50 soundtracks with number 40 to number 31. Now, we finished the last video with a groovy soundtrack, and we're starting this video with an equally as groovy soundtrack, if not more groovy. In at number 40, it's Interstate 76. Interstate 76 is, as the title would suggest, set in the 70s, and as such it has a soundtrack fit for getting your funk on. That's right. A fantastic game with a soundtrack that's perfect for car chases which involve a lot, and I mean a lot, of moustaches. Number 39, Comic Zone. Comic Zone is a game in which you play a comic book character. To be more precise, you play Sketch Turner, a man who draws comic books and he's been imprisoned in his own comic book. You literally play inside the comic itself. The artwork even gets drawn in as you play. It's one of the most technically impressive games on the Mega Drive, and the soundtrack is one of the best uses of the Mega Drive sound chip. Check this one out. Number 38, Crash Bandicoot. Sort of the unofficial mascot to the PlayStation, Crash Bandicoot was fantastic. The game itself is set on a fictitious Australian island where you take control of the titular anthropomorphic Bandicoot. The soundtrack that accompanies the game sets the tone heavily. It's very reminiscent of the jungle whilst being a fun and light-hearted soundtrack. It's even good to listen to outside of the game. Number 37, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. One of the very first Need for Speed games to feature an officially licensed soundtrack. Utilising music from real bands, seeing as this game was released in 2002, the music featured is very much mainstream nu metal of the time sort of thing. The game also features its own version of Hot Action Cop's Fever for the Flavour, with all of the lyrics changed from the original offensive lyrics to ones more befitting of a racing game. And the edited version in this game is better than the original. Definitely give this one a listen to. Number 36, Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2's soundtrack is iconic. The Valve music, which is now used in all Valve games, and even some games not developed by Valve, is taken directly from Half-Life 2. Just like the game, the soundtrack is well crafted down to the final note, and even Half-Life sounds are iconic and used throughout the Steam platform. Number 35, Road Rash. Don't get this confused with the original Road Rash on the Mega Drive. That just narrowly missed the list. This is Road Rash for the 3DO and the PC from 1995. This soundtrack features mid-90s hard rock, metal and grunge in one soundtrack, accompanying the best Road Rash game ever created. This soundtrack is 100% a winner. It's a killer soundtrack for a killer game. Number 34, Grim Fandango. Grim Fandango is a fantastic point-and-click adventure from LucasArts. You play as Manny Calavera, whom is tasked with resolving various different crimes, as it were. The entire game is accompanied by a beautiful big band jazz soundtrack. Please give this soundtrack a listen to. It is a delight for your ears, every time. Number 33, Fantastic Dizzy. Now this may be a controversial one. It's a personal favourite of mine, that's why I've shoved it in here. Both myself and my sister absolutely adore this game, and the Dizzy franchise as a whole. This game's soundtrack is one of the first soundtracks that really stood out to me, and I love to give it a listen through now and again, as each song reminds me of different portions of the game. It is nostalgia playing its best part. So much nostalgia. Number 32, Mafia II. Mafia II includes a soundtrack with some of the greatest music from the 40s and the 50s. An extremely well organised soundtrack that ensures you're never short of a great song to listen to. And that opening scene with Let It Snow in the background is one of the nicest scenes to play through in all of gaming. Number 31. Need for Speed 2. Topping off the end of this section of the list, it's Need for Speed 2. Need for Speed 2 soundtrack is the one that got me interested in video game soundtracks. This one is also one of the best, especially for a racing game involving exotic sports cars. I frequently listen to this in my car when I need to be kept on my toes. It's brilliant. Be sure to give this one a listen. And that's it for number 40 to 31 on the list of 50 greatest soundtracks in gaming ever. Join me next time where we'll go through number 30 to number 21. There are many surprises on the list upcoming, so be sure to stay tuned for those. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't. I don't put out content very often, but I'm trying to put out more and more content. I'm trying to come up with ideas for series to do. Eventually, I always say this all the time, eventually I'll figure something out and we'll get something going. But until then, take care, guys. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. A ding ding ding.